What song are you looking forward to?
Ooh, can I talk about my huh?
Yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Revival, dude.
Yeah, at the end.
Dude, Revival's
Who's
gonna
he
be
gonna
so
bring
sick.
Or do you know? Don't tell me if you know.
No, I don't. I haven't looked at it yet, but I will look at it.
Well,
But he's
he
like
brings out different one every time.
he's very like folk and acoustic. So like he's not like one to bring out like huge artists.
Well,
I feel like.
well when he was in Philly, he brought out Springsteen.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Revival is gonna be the last song, I bet.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so sick.
No, it is the last song.
Is it?
You never heard it?
I feel like it was always been the encore.
He does it for like 20 minutes.
Does he? Let's
like
go.
literally 20 minutes long.
Actually, I did see it at the Red Rocks.
Everyone does a verse.
That's so sick, dude.
Whoever's on stage does a verse.
What about you?
Dude, the Revival is lit. But I want to hear. He's not gonna do it. Dawn's with her, but Dawn.
Yeah. Something in the
And
orange.
East Side of Sorrow.
Something in the orange.
Good one.
Or is that too old?
No, he'll play it.
He will.
Yeah.
That'd be good. All right, let's jump into episode 29. I got something good for us.
Good.
So I want to bring up my LinkedIn post from the other day
Bring it up.
because it also comes from one of my favorite influencers and stuff. But I want to riff about it
Who's it
because from Naval Ravikant, and he's an entrepreneur, author. Highly recommend him to everyone.
Okay. Never heard him.
Such a good dude. He is. If you're looking for a way to accumulate wealth with health, he's the guy because, bro, he just has such a realistic view on everything in terms of like, yes, how to get rich monetarily, but more importantly, like how to truly live the best life. And he talks about how when he refers to wealth, it's not money. Money's involved as a part of that, but for the most part, it's everything that encompasses. And the reason I love it so much is because he talks about health so much about it, but like really emphasizes the importance.
Is he a podcast guy too, or no?
No So
Oh.
he's only been on like 3 podcasts. He's been on Rogan, Chris Williamson, and then a few others. Like he barely does any podcasts, but there's a book about him that I've been reading that is so good that basically takes things that he said, whether it was from Twitter or speaking seminars, whatever it is, that he takes all of the amazing things that Naval has said and puts them in one book. And dude, it is unbelievable.
Good.
But so highly recommend looking into Naval if you're looking for just the best way to live the best life from a money standpoint and a life standpoint. But one of his quotes that has stuck with me as of recently, because it really relates to me in terms of how I want to build my life, is do what feels like play to you, but looks like work to others. Do what feels like play to you, but looks like work to others. I can't tell you enough how much I can relate to this quote because it's always been something that I've tried to explain, but I don't really know how to when it comes to why I started my own business, even with doing it for 4 years now and not having barely any income, not being able to buy the things that I, in quotes, want to buy, all of the difficulties that come with building a business. This was a perfect explanation of why I do what I do. And it's because it's play, dude. It's so much fun. I have yet to feel like I graduated in 2023 from grad school. From that point on, I have not felt like I've worked a single day in my life. I put in the LinkedIn post, I wrote, it's the reason I don't have the Sunday scaries, or I don't dread Mondays. It's the reason why I get up in the morning with just excitement and ready to attack the day. And this is not every day. Obviously, I'm tired. Right. I get tired and overtrained and stuff. But when I do, I take a step back and recognize it and recover and get on with it. But I bring this up because, look, one, I understand that, like, I'm in a very rare situation where I started my own business. But I bring it up also for a second reason of I want you to touch on that quote, but the second part is that goes into this whole wealth thing is freedom. Freedom of time. Very hard to get and buy time, and sometimes you have to put in the work in order to do it. But dude, I would sacrifice so much to keep my freedom of time. It's so valuable to me. But that is only because the only reason I have freedom of time is because my, in quotes, work is play. So I want to bring that up because I wanted to get your thoughts on it from someone who you have an entrepreneur mindset, but you're just not in that career yet, where you have your job, right? You're looking into getting sales too. So what does that quote mean to you for someone like, is what you're currently doing, is that play yet, or like, do you have a vision, or do you have a something that you're setting up so that you can get into that play mindset? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I, as funny as it sounds, was thinking about this on the ride over here.
Stop it.
Dead serious.
Not that quote.
Not that quote. I never heard the quote, but
Yeah, and what aspect? What?
I'll tell you right now. I was speaking with a buddy, and makes way more money than I do. A lot more money. Who cares? We were talking about his job, and he works a lot of hours, right? And there's not really like too much room to move up. Like, it's more of like a doing the same thing every day job kind of thing.
Like, does he have a ceiling? And is he there?
He's not at the ceiling, but like it's more of like just for instance, like I don't want to call out specific fields, but like whether it's like if you're a laborer, or if you're doing like the same thing every day, and you're not planning to see much past that, or you're a nurse and you're not really planning to see much, like you're going in and doing the same, but you're working long hours, right? Mm-hmm. I was speaking to him recently, and he was like, he's like, I'm making this, like I just got a raise. I was like, you happy? Like, dude, I'm so happy for you. Like, you should be happy. He's like, yeah, like it's whatever. Like, I'm still doing this. I'm just making great money.
Were you happier than he was for himself?
He was happy because it's more money, obviously. But he was like, yeah, but like, tell him I still got to work like 12 hours a day and all this stuff. And it made me think, like, on the spot. I work probably close to the same amount of hours as him. He might work a couple hours more, but I work close to the same amount of hours, and I don't see it that way. Like, I've even thought about it recently. Like, I would love to make more money. Who wouldn't? But I'm not, like, I used to be so keen on how do I make more money? How do I make more money tomorrow? And now it's like, it's so cool to me. I'm interested in, like, how do I just get better? Like, I started this job maybe like 8 months ago now, and kind of what you said, like, I don't mind and almost look forward because I'm chasing something. I'm chasing getting better. I'm chasing a promotion. I'm chasing the next level because, like, I kind of have a vision of where I want to be, and I know I'm not there. So even though I'm working more hours than my counterparts, and sometimes and other times there's people that are matching that energy, it's not about the money. It's just about getting better and, like, reaching that next level and, like, feeling that sense of accomplishment. And I feel the wins stacking. Like, I feel them stacking. So, like, two guys, one makes a lot more money, is a very skilled guy who went to school, very intelligent, and another guy who makes way less money, is kind of working around the same, but just sees the outlook differently. And I just feel like I'm, when it comes to work, enjoying it way more than he is, and it's unfortunate. I hope he ends up seeing that. But you made me think of that when you said it's more play that others see as work. Where he's seeing it as work, I'm seeing this as a play. Like I'm seeing this as, bro, you're getting better every day. You're learning. You're hitting those strides, and like, it's what you. If I told you 8 months ago, what do you want to be doing? That's what I would have said. Yeah. But a year ago, I would have told you like, how do I get to $200,000 tomorrow? How do I get to $300,000 tomorrow? I would go take that shortcut. Now it's like you can offer me 150 grand to work at an ice cream shop, and I'd be like, I don't know. It's not like a. Then I have to work at the ice cream shop for the rest of my life. I'm not getting better. Why would I want to do that?
I saw some graph or what, it was some image that showed.
YouTube comment right now what every poor person would say. That's what the YouTube comment's gonna be.
Fair. But how they determine wealth? That's just by money. So I saw this graph or this figure that was showing like where we spend our time throughout our life. And dude, when you see it on a graph of how much time we truly spend, like if, just put in the 9 to 5 regular 8-hour days, 5 days a week, bro, it's kind of scary how much time we spend working versus how much time we spend doing the things that we want to do. And that graph really made me think about this whole thing too, where I can't align with that graph because I don't feel like I have work hours, right? It's all play. So what's scary is a lot of people go through until they're 60 years old, going through work to get to play. And then how long do you have to play? Because this is the typical like American retirement. Versus why don't we just figure out a way to make it play from the beginning? And then you have your entire life of play, not just until after you're 60 years old. And again, this is very much easier said than done. And I don't want to say I'm lucky because I did put myself in this situation. But it's definitely something that I think about a lot in terms of we get one of these things, man. Like I want all those years to be fun and playful. But this is also a big reason why one of Mano's core values is driven by the journey.
Yeah, just to touch on it and give like a real world example, you definitely saw it in me probably change, and I'm going to tell you the example and you tell me if you remember. I used to waiter and bartend Saturdays, and maybe for about 3 years, and for 2.5 of those years, or 2 to 2.5, it was awesome. Like, it was the easiest money. I did it on Saturday. What else was I doing? It was easy money. It stopped me from doing things on Saturdays where I would be spending money, and all I was thinking about is money. Then about a year to 6 months ago, it changed, and I told you I was like kind of getting over this, like kind of not about it anymore. And the reason why is because it was not like, yes, I need money to pay my bills. I need money to do things. So it's not that money's nothing, but I was spending 8 hours on a Saturday serving drinks, doing nothing, and it suited me for a long period. It got me to buy a house. Like, it did a lot for me, and I'll never regret doing it because it got me to places where I needed to be. But I was entering like a next chapter where it was like what I spoke about earlier was like, am I getting better? It was almost taking up too much time, whereas like, I can't do that on Saturday. Like I have the bar, or like I really only had 1 day a week, Sunday, where it was a regroup day, and I couldn't be as productive on Sunday because my Saturday was taking up. There were so many things that started to add up to where about 6 months to a year ago, I was like, this bar, this waitering isn't making me better anymore. Before, it was striving towards my goal of making as much money as I can. My goal had shifted to becoming a better professional, a better person, getting more knowledge, doing as best as I can. And it no longer fit that mold. And right when it did that, I turned to you and I was like, I'm over this.
Dude, it's such a good example because what you essentially did is people will look at that and say, you decreased your wealth.
I did.
You did not.
I decrease my monetary wealth.
You decrease your money.
Yeah.
But this is the whole point. That Naval emphasizes that wealth isn't money. It is. Money is a part of it. Money is just one stock in the mutual
It put me in a spot. To cut you off, it put me in a spot to where I was able to do it. There was a time for a while I was not able to. I needed the money.
Yeah.
And I still, you always need the money. I still need the money. It's just, it wasn't, the pros weren't outweighing the cons.
So here's my point is that just because you dropped the money doesn't mean your wealth dropped. Because you opened up time, and now you have, how long, 8 hour how long were the shifts?
Like 7
hours. Yeah. You just opened 7 hours a week to put that time towards things that will make you a better person, that will increase your wealth, right? Again, because happiness and all that kind of stuff, passion. So it's such a good example because you sacrifice one part of it, which is money, which many people assume is like the entirety of wealth, only for more time to actually increase your wealth. And it's very hard though, because again, like you said, of course we need money, and you went through a time where you were forced into it. But once you kind of either reset your goals, reset your mindset, or we're just comfortable, either living below your means or at your means, I think it's such a good representation of, with less money, you are so much better off.
Yes, but I will say, I think at the end of the day for me, I think it all comes down to being, I am still driven by money, but I think I'm...
Who isn't?
But
right?
I think it's from a smarter outlook. So as opposed to just chasing the next dollar, I have lifetime goals where I want to be. Chasing the next dollar may get me there, but I thought, what will get you there if you take a step back in your 20s and 30s and work on it to get better? By the time you're 40 and 50, someone said this to me yesterday, actually. I was talking to him, and it was, what can you do to make it unreasonable for you to not be at that goal? So, for instance, it was a salesperson, and he was saying he wanted to sell $5 million, say. What can I do now that you would say that's unreasonable that I didn't get the $5 million? Like, you should have got the $10 million. That's like
what was holding you back?
Like, what if I did so much? Like, if I put in so much time, so much effort, if I dialed in my lead source, if I was dialed on these calls, I was going to events, I was doing all these things, you'd be like, no way I didn't sell $5 million. You did all of this, you laid the groundwork, you did all that work. No way you're not meeting that goal. I took a step back without even thinking about it and was kind of like, if you grew in your 20s the way you took a step back, you didn't just chase money, you gained in knowledge, you gained in experience, you put the time in, you put in all that work, why wouldn't you get to where you want to be? If you didn't put in that work, you may get there. Chances are less. I'm not framing it well. I don't know if you're able to
100%.
picture it, but what can you do now to make it unreasonable? It might not be the word, but like almost where, yeah, dude, of course you're gonna reach that goal. You did all that work right now. Why wouldn't you reach that?
100%.
And work is, I just mean as like, you had stuff written out that you wanted to do and you checked
the things you got to do to hit that
right.
number. Yeah.
Not getting $1 to $2, but maybe it's getting more intelligent. Maybe it's getting more experience on sales calls. It's going to sales events and interacting with people and creating relationships. Whatever those may be, like none of those are monetary things. They lead to monetary and being a better salesperson, but they don't gain you $1 today. You're playing the long game at that point.
So let me get your thoughts on this, because this makes me think about a similar topic, but something I'm proud that I've been focused on. All of this takes a lot of humility.
Big time.
You have to be very, very humble and honest with yourself and say, like another thing that I've been really focusing on is trying to be the stupid person in the room, so that I'm around smarter people, so that I can learn from people.
I don't have a problem doing that.
Because it makes me better. But that takes a lot of humility, dude. And it's hard. And that's kind of something that you were saying where, for your situation, you have to be very real with yourself and say, this is my goal. These were the steps to get there. What did I not do? And this is what I didn't do. That's hard to kind of reflect on that and be honest with yourself. Especially after the deadline of whatever that goal is comes, because then it's like shoulda, coulda, woulda situation. How, pivoting a little bit, how has, like, do you bring in a lot of humility into this, and how is that?
I've been trying to be more intentional with bringing in humility. I haven't. Recently, I've been thinking more and more about it. And when I say maybe humility is not the word, I've been trying to be more calculated and less emotional. Because we talked about last episode, the peaks and valleys create emotion. Don't get too. I try not to get too high or too low.
The little tick marks.
Just even. Because if you get too high, it makes the lows low. If you get too low, sometimes it's very, very tough to crawl out of. But if you kind of stay like data driven and emotional, like if I do this, it will lead to this. And although leading to that outcome brings you joy, it should, but be rooted in structure. I did this, that got me to this. Like, why wouldn't that outcome happen? Because I put this in.
So I have a.
But if that outcome doesn't happen, you can hit a low. But it's not being able to get punched in the face.
I have a health example that kind of might paint the picture, but also somewhat touches on what we talked about last episode.
Doing a terrible way of putting it into words.
I'll paint the picture. Allow me.
Please.
So, all right, let's use alcohol as an example, right? Alcoholism. What that entails is, and this is really any addiction, but we'll use alcohol as the example, is super high peaks and super low valleys, right? Because it's all dopamine related.
Right.
So you get messed up, absolutely demolished, blacked out. Next day you're at such a low. And when you're at that low, it's all regret, right? Again, last episode, it's, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. I don't want to do it again. But because of that extreme low, it's followed by an extreme high again. It's just bouncing from extreme to extreme. Versus someone who has a very good relationship with alcohol, they have the ability to have those one-off nights and get messed up. But for the most part, they have those little tick marks of a drink or 2 drinks on a Saturday or 4 or 5, but not this all in or all out mentality. Same idea, where those little tick marks is where you can find that balance of success and failure, I feel like. Rather than when you go that huge, massive in and out, there's a reason that it's so hard to get out of for alcoholics, for drug addiction. I don't know if that painted the picture.
Yeah, it did. It was well painted. I just
Picasso.
Also so ironic that you brought this up. I was literally thinking about it on the drive over. But
we did not. This episode, this is our riffing episode. So I don't want people to think that we only talked about the topic from my last episode. So this is kind of wild. So I do want to hear this.
You could also paint me thinking about it on the way over as a negative.
Talk to me.
I was in the car with Lauren on the way over here because we're getting ready to go to the concert. I was not present in that car ride. That's a fact.
Because you're bouncing?
Everything. Yeah. Thinking podcast, thinking career, conversations I've had, obviously, with my buddy. I wasn't present. So I need to make a better strive at doing that. I didn't identify that until just now. So I got to do a better job of identifying in the moment. You're
Guilty of that, 100%.
No, I wasn't gonna say.
Yeah, but I wanted to say that real quick too.
Are you?
Dude, it's so hard, man. Because
Your mind just starts like my mind is always bouncing.
Right,
It
and
is hard sometimes.
it's hard. What's so hard about it is it's because it's with good intention. It's for good reason. But to pull yourself out of that now is very hard. Where, dude, I'm so guilty of this. If I'm sitting at the dinner table, bro, my mind is just all on my work, my training, all selfish stuff.
You know why it's tough? Because on my drives into work, home from work, when I'm alone, I encourage my mind to bounce. That's what I want. I want it to like be creative and think about work, think about finances, think about life. I when I'm on a run, I want it to bounce. I want it to go into spaces that like it normally wouldn't. But I need to know when to be.
Snapping out of it is tough. Well, it takes time, but I think you somehow need to create little triggers for yourself. And whatever that may be, like phone background or just like when you're in the presence of someone, like trying to really hone in on that. But dude, it's so
Yeah, we're in an
hard.
environment. Like we could go to the concert tonight. You might lose me for a half hour.
Me too.
Like
Yeah, wait.
not physically, like just like obviously not physically. Like I just may be thinking about work or what I have to do on Monday or the week that's coming up, or there's a real possibility, and then like I'll be like, dude, I'm at Zach Bryan. Like, what am I doing?
When you said not physically, I just started laughing because all I think
'Cause
about
you're
is
like, no
Cincinnati.
shit? Oh.
No.
Oh.
When I was in Cincinnati.
Oh
they
yeah,
just
yeah. We
disappeared.
lost you physically.
Physically.
Yeah.
I went to go get kombucha.
Yeah. Dude told him something in his head, and he was like, "I'm gone." We're sitting there. We went to Cincinnati. Great trip.
So good.
Yeah.
We were going to the Bengals game.
Oh yeah. Shout out Emily and Connor. But we went out there for a
They
weekend.
listen?
Connor does from time to
We'll
time.
send
He
them a clip
tunes
so
in.
that
Yeah.
we can get them on it.
But we went out there, had a great weekend. They hosted us, and Eagles-Bengals game last year. I love Cincinnati. It
So
was
sick.
awesome, and I don't know if it was just because the vibe that we had with the crew, or like everything about that weekend was awesome. There were no expectations. There were nothing planned other than the game, and we played into that so well. But Eagles game day, we're going to a tailgate. We stopped at like the downtown, had a drink, went to like their Xfinity Live type area for those of you who are in
It's like a
Philly.
sports bar?
So it's like an open block where there's bars along the outside, but they block off the road, so the street is like festival-ish. We're there having a great time. Then we go to a tailgate. On our way to the tailgate, Anthony goes, I want like some kombucha, like out of nowhere. Your mind was definitely bouncing.
I don't think...
Is that not how it went down?
I don't think I think I literally just said, "Yo, I'll meet you guys."
Yeah, I'll meet, because
I don't think I explained
you
it.
didn't
I think I
drink it
just
all,
left.
right?
No.
Yeah,
I
that's what
just
it was.
left.
That's what it was. He goes, "Yeah, I want to stop somewhere. I'll meet you guys."
Oh, I said I was gonna drink coffee.
Yeah, I'll meet you guys. Where are you gonna meet us? Like we're going to a hosted tailgate that you don't even know the people. Yeah, location. I'll meet you guys. Maybe 45 minutes. He comes back later. Anyone want kombucha? Bro, what? Where were you? You were like, I walked up to the city. Like, you didn't get coffee.
No,
I stopped at like a Stop and Shop.
There's an
like,
organic market.
Yeah, I found an organic market. But like, I mean, you definitely had a ball just walking around.
I was so
Just
happy,
vibing.
dude.
Yeah.
I was so happy. But
I knew what you were doing. Lauren and Meg were like, the people we were with were like, what is he doing? I'm like, he's fine. He's a grown man. Then like we've had talks, like the dude's just enjoying the city.
That's
That's a great time for you to just get away.
100%. It is a little
It's
different.
so funny.
What's kind of crazy about that is me doing that was actually, it wasn't an opportunity for me to think about work or anything. That's how I actually break off, and like when I'm by myself is when I like literally am just.
Was
like,
that a way
having
for you
ball
to
with
get
myself.
out of that environment?
No,
Oh, it was more.
it's more of. I can have, dude. I could go anywhere I could do an entire Europe trip by myself for months.
Dude said, "Yeah, I'll be back."
I can just. When I'm alone, I can.
Yeah.
I enjoy myself so much more, and it's not because I'm thinking about all these things. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm so chill. I'm just enjoying the city. I love walking around and exploring and like finding different shops and stuff like that. I met like 5 different people on that
Did you?
walk just because I just talked to random people.
Yeah.
I was talking to the clerk at the organic shop and got his whole life story. But no, dude, that was actually a situation not to get out of what we were doing, not to avoid any. It was literally just like that's kind of like where I find that's where I thrive.
Yeah.
But
That was so funny.
but it's weird though, dude, because when I'm alone in those situations, that's not when my mind wanders. It's when I'm in those social settings.
You wander.
All I think about.
You're more present when you're
100%. I'm more present when I'm wandering like that versus when I'm in a social setting or at a tailgate. I'm going.
Interesting.
My mind's going.
See, like I would say, I'm more of the opposite. Obviously, I just said when I'm in a social thing, my mind does wander. But generally, I feel like I do. I got to be more intentional about it. But definitely when I'm solo, I'm.
Well, you know where I learned it from was I learned it from going on my runs without headphones and just in the beginning it was a lot like work focused and like even now I still think about work sometimes and like what I could be doing. But as of recently, sometimes it's like sometimes it's like no thoughts. It's just like solidarity and calmness.
Yeah.
Like, and it makes me think of a beach run, dude, a morning beach run. Stop it.
Yeah, but that's kind of bouncing. Like the fact that you would let your mind go there. In a way.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we're making sense.
That's why I riff.
Yeah, but
Riff
I love
Raff.
it. I love it.
Remember Riff Raff?
No.
I think he was a rapper. Dude looked crazy. You would know him. I'll show you after. All right. So real quick before we close, next week we got episode 30, bro.
Yeah, we do.
First off, can we take a step back?
Yeah, we didn't shout out the sponsor at all, but
Shout out Mano Wellness. Real
just
quick,
smacks the banner.
episode 30, dude.
Yeah. How about that?
I first want to thank everyone because, yes, the numbers, the views have been awesome, the comments and stuff like that, but it's 29 episodes in, about to be 30, and it's just consistent. And so I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We haven't missed a Monday. Like, in terms of the views, they're staying consistent, so that means we're getting recurring people. So that's awesome because, of course, I want more, but I want the people to keep coming back. But, dude, to kind of give ourselves some credit, man, we started this in January. January, like, 14th or 17th, I was looking this up, was the first episode. And, bro, it's not... Everyone says, like, there's so many podcasts out there, but look how many podcasts started and stopped before they even got to 10 episodes or 10 weeks in. 30 episodes, 30 weeks. I'm really proud of us, dude. Like, that's freaking awesome. And I have no plans of stopping. I assume you don't either.
No,
so
I've taken the chirps from all the buddies. We're going.
We're having fun with it. And you know why we're 30 weeks in? Because it's play, not work.
That's right.
Boom! That's how you fucking close it out.
Have a week.
Have a week.
See you guys.
Peace.
Wait, did you say that you said submit the questions for the 30th?
No, I didn't.
What? Do you want to add it in right now?
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
I'm a little sad I forgot.
That's all right.
For episode 30, so every 10 episodes we do a Q&A. We did that for episode 20. So drop your questions in the Spotify comments. You can drop them elsewhere, but we really want to use the Spotify comments. They're really cool. Drop them in the Spotify comments, and we will hit them up. We have a list of questions from the last Q&A, so we'll pick our top 5 to 10 and see how many we can get through.
Yeah. Hit them.
We'll do like a rapid fire.
I love the questions because sometimes we get here and we like riffing and we like coming in with topics, but there is a question of like how many or how much of our audience will relate to it, and we want to reach as many people as possible and keep them coming back. So the questions are great because we know they're from
the Q&As are exactly what everyone wants.
Right. So keep
and
them
also,
coming.
I love that rapid fire because you can get so much information out in so little.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, the only problem is we could take one question and talk about it for 4 hours.
Yeah. But is that a problem?
That's why we started a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, fam.
See you guys.
See ya.
Peace.